Hello, hello, my lovely Licarians. Let's get those headphones on. Okay, so we've got a tough matchup this game. And I will tell you why. It's mostly because we do not have a solid tank. Now, I am a solid tank, but a solid tank in the top lane where we have a champion like Quinn. Yikes. Quinn falls off late game, and right now the game favors late game. The game right now favors the late game stage, where they want you to interact with the Baron. They want you to interact with the dragon. Oh wait, the Quinn's actually going. Where's the Quinn going? Oh, ADC Quinn? With barrier? Okay. So how the lanes will play out, we should be concentrating on two things: farm and warding. And we need a ward for the Kha'zix. The Kha'zix is gonna look to end things quickly. They have a bot lane that scales. Our lane, the Quinn does not scale. So I think Syndra scales as well. We're gonna wait for a bit. So the Gangplank. Okay, there he is. Just to make sure that no shenanigans going down. Alright, gonna pull it over here. Use another. Alright. Easy peasy. So even though we took the red, Kha'zix can still influence the game in a big way early on. We're gonna look to give this to Lux. Alright, she doesn't want it. That is her call. Bring that over here. So at this, okay. At this moment in time, okay, so there is, interesting. So yeah, Kha'zix was definitely looking for that kill pretty badly. I would say watch out. Because Kha'zix still wants to make a play, yeah. Now Kha'zix could be going for my red. Okay, he did go for my red. Most likely he was still kind of in the area. I think he was just leaving the area when Lux warded. But that's good because one of the things that Nunu has the ability to do is to track other junglers by use of controlling where they go. If I control where Kha'zix goes, then Kha'zix has a harder time making plays. Lux doesn't seem like she knows how to control her abilities. She's not getting the auto attacks in as much, so... Okay, Kale actually survived that. Yeah, that's good. I think what I would like to do here, we're actually going to throw a word right there. Gonna get rid of this. Now Kha'zix was up here. Just gonna get a little vision on this side of the map. Gonna pull this down a little bit. Kha'zix still trying to make a play somewhere. Oh, nice. Alright, so we're gonna try to communicate to the Lux that we would like to get the blue. Okay, Lux is in a bit of a pickle here. Alright, I'm looking at pull it out this way. Alright, nice. Heard like scanning of some kind. Gonna take a little bit of that damage. Heal up that damage. Now the bad part about showing myself bot is, well, they know where I am. So if I was Kha'zix, I would be going for this side. But the Lux is sadly outmatched with the Syndra here. Yeah, she's really outmatched. It's kind of dangerous to be so close to her because she might think that I want to go in or something. Alright. So Kha'zix should be clearing, should have cleared this area. So we're gonna clear this first. Alright. See if this is still here. It is not, so I was correct. Now the problem with this is if we try to make something happen bot side, we won't scale. We just, I mean, There's nothing to fight for down there. Quinn just doesn't scale. So if anything, we should just protect, we should just farm and get, like I said before, the, maybe we should try to help this. There we go. Oh, Gwen didn't even get her. Get him. Yeah, that's why Quinn falls off. She can't be that useful. She just isn't that useful. So beating Kha'zix in farm is how we're going to even control where this game goes. And most likely... Okay. Ah! That was kind of funny. That was so funny! Okay. So yeah, preventing, because Kale is gonna scale, but she needs farm. We're gonna go for that, we're gonna go for that. We are going to go for that. But yeah. So Kale will scale. We're gonna try to prevent them from getting this turret. Alright. We should just be able to, yeah, they'll back away from that now. But, what's going to be, really... What is going to be really key here? Yeah, I don't think... Quinn just doesn't have damage she can do anything. She just falls off as an ADC. She's really not good. Badly. We're gonna get some wards. We got a ward right there. Gonna throw a ward right there. I'm gonna throw a ward over. Oh, I want that. I want it. But can I have it? That's the real... Alright, let's see if I can get it. Adios, muchacho. Oh. That gangplank is, sneaky boy. So yeah, Lux can't handle... Lux can't handle the Syndra. So, that is just something that we have to think about. Now, just because someone can't do something doesn't mean that they're totally useless. Alright, so we're gonna clean up this farm. Alright. So that's to be expected. It's just that, first of all, Quinn doesn't have any kill presence versus, in that lane. Just no kill presence. Okay. Okay, that was taken. I suspected that it was taken, but I wasn't sure. So the only way we're going to win is being able to sadly it'll be some kind of combination of split pushing and getting turrets. That's the only way we can win. And getting Alright. Nice. Alright, so we have a little, got a little break. That was pretty good. Now with that, Kale should be able to get a little bit into late game. Alright, we're gonna go back. Alright, so we're gonna, let's see, they do a lot of magic damage. We're actually gonna go for this first, that, and, let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go for Tabais this game, but we're gonna wait on that for a little bit. Getting the Rift Herald should be something that we should do currently. Or getting Vision in the, getting Vision there first. We might be able to get the Gangplank. Alright, there we go. Nice work. Alright, so we're gonna seek to put some wards. Some deep wards. Oh, I got the kill. That's crazy. I seek to put some deep wards in here. Okay. That was interesting. Alright, so we're just gonna push this. Kha'zix is dead, so we can just farm up. But as crazy as it is, this team comp is actually not too bad. Alright, we're gonna pull this, wait for it to consume to come back up. Alright. We're gonna happily steal more of Kha'zix's farm. Nice. And our cover is blown a bit. Now this could be a big fight here. Nice. Alright, I don't want to go fight Kha'zix there. Kinda silly. Nice. So one thing that I didn't know, think to point out, I'm gonna steal Kha'zix jungle, because we're just too disorientated right now. I'm gonna steal this first. And do our little beacon thing. Oh, can't even steal that. Oh, oh yes. I wanna hide you right here. Come on. Someone step in my little ring of death here. Lead them to me. Ah! Oh, that was mean, man. Alright, so we need to do something about the Gangplank. He's doing a lot of damage. We're gonna finish our Ninja Tabai, then we're gonna get Frozen Heart Neck. No, we're gonna visit Spirit Passage. Get first item there. Upgrade that. And that tower is gonna go down. So we're gonna look to get vision right around here. Nice. Alright, this should be pretty quick, I think. Alright, we're looking at 760. Alright, nice. I'm gonna get my other component here, or Frozen Heart, and get on out of here. And now we'll look to put some wards, some fairly deep wards over here. We're gonna put a ward right here. And a ward right here. That's pretty good. Pop that. Oh. Alright, easy peasy, man. We just own everything now. So 760. Yep. Okay. Interesting. There's a few too many people on that side, so we can actually we can push this. Push it into tower. We're just gonna push that into tower. Oh man, poor Kha'zix, man. Yikes. Gonna take this farm. Then we're gonna push top over here. I'm gonna let Quinn have that. And I'm gonna get some farm myself. But I don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah. I'm gonna get some farm for myself. Got a pretty good lead. Alright, I'm gonna give that over to Quinn. Gonna send her on her way. Gonna do complete a full clear here. Baron should be up, or it should be gone in a little bit here. Yeah, there it goes. Alright, we're gonna go back. Gonna finish our item here, and then we're gonna work on some magic, or what? I think a support item. I think that'd be good. I wonder what we should get. Wind travels around so fast that I think a redemption would be really good. Alright, we're gonna sell that. Get a control ward. We're gonna get 2 control wards apparently, and then we're gonna clear top. Actually, Kale already backed. So I'm gonna get some wards over here. Gonna get a ward right there. We're gonna do the sweeper. Get a ward right there. Just strip them of all the of their experience. It just huh. Alright, gonna speed our little guys up to as much damage as we can here. Oh yeah, they need to get out, really. They're doing pretty good. Alright, we're gonna try to take this down. They're doing a lot of little skirmishes here, and I'm just trying to knock down this tower. Which is not that easy as a Nunu. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably not having a good game, I'm thinking. Alright, so we just have a little bit on this. We're gonna go get we're gonna go get Baron afterwards. Okay, nobody's coming for the Baron. So we're gonna try to get... Tried to get Mr. Red here so he can get some farm. Right. Now Quinn should fly to me pretty quickly. Hey, people are finally coming to the Baron! Okay. So I just need somebody doing some additional damage. I'll be just fine. Alright, so we're looking at 900 on our smite. Alright, there we go. We're gonna go get an item. We're gonna get redemption. Finish that redemption. We're gonna get an elixir. Why not? And then we just push lanes! And redemption is gonna allow us to help people from afar. Alright, so I'm in pretty good range here for... Alright, there we go. Nice. I don't think that was super effective, but whatever. Fairly effective. There we go. And now we just roll those lanes. But yeah, the Kale is, like I said, finally showing her late game craziness. And we're gonna continue. Oh, an ace, my word. Alright, so it looks like I'm gonna get that tower. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Alright, awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome, wow. I'm surprised that game went as well as it did. I think some of what went so well that game, we're actually... Look at that face! She's like, ah! She did so much work by herself, so we're gonna give it to her. So I think what really put us ahead is the decision making coming from our entire team on various occasions when we went for the Syndra. Syndra has a lot of ways to escape and stun and all this, but against so many people, what can you do? So when I tried, I remember one time when I tried to get her, I got her in my slow. Lux was able to bind, and then the rest, they just piled on. So that worked out pretty well. That worked out better than I thought. Like, I thought we were gonna have a pretty tough time that game. But it showed, like, the Tristana was just, like, damaging me for no reason. Like, Tristana does a lot of damage, but she's not to the Tristana is not to the point where she's doing a lot of damage to me. And not only that, I can consume the health right back. So she was not playing not playing correctly. And our team was able to do pretty well in terms of coordinating with each other. I was so happy with that. That's what made the game end so quickly. There were times when I felt like they should have gotten out of the situation. But now that I think about it, the enemy team, they don't have much in terms of a tank either. So, like, Lux has her binds. I mean, as far as it goes, now the issue I find is if they stuck together, Tristana would outscale, but it seemed like she wasn't making the best decisions that Tristana could have been. Just stick with your team or stick with your support, because I'm pretty sure their bot lane won the lane, and that's what I predicted. Like, Quinn has a hard time impacting early game, and she really falls off late game. Mid game, it seemed like mid game is her power spike, and she definitely used it. I think, because we did clean up on a couple of those. We cleaned up on some of those Syndra kills, and I was like, wow, we actually did it. I'm like, all right, you know. So it's pretty amazing. It's really amazing when you have your entire team in solo queue actually, you know, working together like that, man. All right, so let's do a little itemization. I've got Frozen Heart to deal with the, you get cooldown reduction, you get to deal with people that do auto attacks. Yeah, gotta get Spirit Visage this game because their Syndra is enough to make that decision. Gangplank's gonna do some magic damage. I think his ult does magic damage, maybe? And then Sona's gonna do a fair amount of damage herself. She's actually got a Luden's Echo, interesting enough, so she's gonna do a fair amount of burst. And then Redemption, the way that I felt, they were skirmishing a lot, and to get to them, you know, from a fair distance across the map was not that easy. Redemption, it's almost half the map, not quite, but you can heal people for half the map. And how ridiculously overpowered is that? So I was fine with my items, with my Cinder Hulk, my Spirit Visage, and my Frozen Heart, and Redemption is something that I could help, you know, half a map away and healing them. So yeah, I like that item build. And then finally, not finally. Lux has got Luden's Echo. She's more like an Omicron for her cooldown, some AP. Zanya's Hourglass for some survivability, but it won't do that great versus the Syndra. Without the collaboration that we had in mid, Syndra would have just kept walloping on the Lux. Like, Lux, I think she did a good job of not with keeping her cool and not overcommitting and getting killed too many times from the Syndra. So my hat's off to Lux that she hung in there, and she got the binds when it counted, when we started going after Syndra as a group. The Kayle was just rocking it in the top lane. She's got a lot of solo kills. She was just so dedicated to farming, and that's great. 317 in farm. So once she was done in top lane farm, she was bottom lane, and she was doing a lot of damage. And when you are Kayle late game and you scale, you can just ultimate somebody, and suddenly they're an unstoppable tank for 3 seconds, 4 seconds. But it's still pretty scary. And Kayle just chunks people. She chunks towers. So I knew she would scale, but one of the reasons why I didn't influence her lane the only influence that I wanted was to ward, get scuttles, make sure she was safe. Because Gangplank can't kill Kayle in a normal matchup, not that he can't kill her that easily. And neither can, so that's just gonna be a farming lane. The Quinn took bottom lane. I believe she lost, but she really picked up the pace when it came to mid game. And we got the Syndra, and I think that's kind of where her spike stopped. Sadly, I think she just didn't impact the game that much in mid game where her spike is. But I think what we did do was I remember when she went after Syndra the one time. I think Syndra had a flash away or something, but she couldn't get the kill. But Quinn just has a tough time taking out people when it starts to entering that late game phase. Just because the damage potential just is outshined by other champions that are late game, like Tristana's late game, Syndra's late game. But I think the biggest part was we were able to group and group when we had something to do something. Even like it took a little time. Like the Baron, man. So at this elo, Baron always takes a little while. It always takes a little while of convincing. So think about some other things that you could do. Make sure you get vision, and then sometimes it's good. Maybe not all the time, but I find that just pinging around Baron, maybe put your dance emote on and dance until somebody comes. I just need one extra person to come help Baron, and then other people flock, or I just duel some Baron with somebody. Anyway, so she's as far as items go, she has some burst with Static Shiv. Interestingly enough, she went for a Relic Shields, probably for like survivability in lane. Youmuu's Ghostblade, and then finally Duskblade of Drakthar. This build is under the has the impression that it needs to get its full combo in addition to a number of autos to finish the job. So she really has an in it or win it mentality here with this composition. And it worked great, but it only worked great when it came to we all participated in team fights. The enemy team were able to thwart our attacks pretty well by defending their base, and that's for the most part because I realized we couldn't crack their base, that we should be farming their jungle, farming in general, or pushing lanes. Because once you develop this sense of, yeah, well, they're gonna form a better defense and we can't crack their base yet because they're just gonna respawn within 15 to 20 seconds. It's not until, I don't know, I think it's like 40 minutes or something, is when death timers really get long. And we're still at 34 minutes. I mean, the game ended at 34 minutes, so it wasn't even close to death timers being so long where you can consistently stay in the enemy's base and not worry about them respawning and coming out with new items and you're already low, and then the game turning around on you because they kill us, they get the Baron. All these headaches that you don't want. So yeah, so she does not do a whole lot of damage. So she needs her team. She needs quite a few members of her team. Like at least 3, I think. The Soraka did pretty well. You got Soraka is fairly broken because you can, it's like the reset button on mistakes. Oop, I made a mistake. Thanks Soraka, thanks for the heal. You got Ardent Sensor for healing, bonuses, redemption. You even got Lock of the Air and Solari just in case they have just so much burst that Soraka can't heal quick enough. So she's just going to put a shield around people. And that is excellent because they have Gangplank, ultimate damage coming down, Sona, Syndra. So definitely magic damage they need to negate with something like Iron Solari. As far as the Syndra goes, she had good farm. Just as much farm as the Lux, so Lux was doing good. Leander's Torment, so she was doing a lot of late game damage. But she is a little behind. Well, she's a bit behind in comparison to the rest of us. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 items completed. So she's sitting, I don't know, I would think she's sitting on some gold here, and she wasn't able to buy it, or who knows. We stepped it up, but then again, we had the map so long. Like, there was a time when I didn't see anyone coming out of their base for a while. So they must have had some motivational issues trying to say, hey, guys, this game isn't going that great, but how about we try this? You know, that is difficult. That is difficult to swing. Like, I didn't see anybody for maybe a minute or so coming out of the base when I was just farming and then putting up wards and whatnot. So maybe they were hoping to catch someone out that came into the base. Who knows? But we did quite a bit more farming. The 100 more for the Kale. Okay, he got more farm than so he's a powerhouse of damage right here. But those turrets coming down and those barons, gotta get those barons. But anyway, let's get back to itemization. So yeah, she's only got 3 items, and I find that kind of mysterious. Like, what's going on there? But I find that mysterious. She's probably maybe on the cusp of being able to afford half an item. All right, so the gangplank. Now the gangplank looks to blow people up in little areas, and a lot of times when you're in little skirmishes and you're in fights that last a while, you forget. Don't be clumped up. Don't get hit by a Syndra stun, and then they're gonna chain all this damage and they're gonna clean up. That's one easy way that we would have lost that game. So you've got Yomu's, you've got Trinity Force. She doesn't, or then he has Adaptive Helm. That's gonna be pretty useful versus the Kale. But as far as survivability versus AD, he doesn't have much. But honestly, the only AD that he has to worry about is Quinn, and Quinn does not do all that much damage in the first place. So I think this build is alright. I don't know about Dorn's Ring. I don't know how Gameplank's abilities work. So maybe he was looking to do some extra AP damage. I'll have to, at some point, maybe Gangplank will be in the jungle someday, and I'll figure out how his kit works. But he obviously, getting a Dorn's Ring, he obviously does some kind of magic damage. Maybe it's his ranged attack that does magic damage. And you got the Tristana. Tristana's got standard Infinity Edge plus Static Shiv and a Rapid Fire Cannon. Tons of damage right there. So if we ever got into a team fight with him, that would be difficult, because if one guy gets picked out, then Tristana will jump on him and keep jumping on the rest of us. It would be so horrible to see. Just one jump after another, us dying. But it didn't happen. The Sona was fairly under level compared to okay, well, yeah, Soraka 15 compared to Sona's 12. I don't feel like Sona itemized correctly. I don't think Luden Echo is really going to do that much damage. I think Sona should have gotten some. Either Sona could have gone something like a Lich Bane, but in this case, with the so little tankiness, I think Sona would have benefited so much by getting some kind of health item, some items that are going to enable her to survive, enable her team to survive. Because even though we don't have that much tankiness, I've got a little tankiness. We've got a support with support items. We've got 2 redemptions. So we have quite a bit of ability to recover, including we have a Soraka. So Sona should have, in my opinion, gone for some support items, or some items, yeah, support items, because tanky items aren't so great on Sona. And then finally, you've got Kha'zix. Now, Kha'zix went for just full offensive build, and Kha'zix, you don't need to go this build. It's possible to make this build work with, but you're still going to have the issue of missing out on 1 kill attacks. in my opinion, he shouldn't have gone something like Ravenous Hydra. He should have gone for or Duskblade of Drakthar. He just doesn't do that much burst damage. He does isolated damage, so that's why that's why Cleaver is good, because you can do your damage, you can do all your combos. If they try to retaliate, you use your ultimate, you hide, and then you finish them off with additional combos. And because you have Black Cleaver on, every hit that he does before he uses his ultimate just to disappear on you, it'll lower your defense, and hopefully, you also want to engage. I mean, you do a decent amount of damage with Kha'zix, but I think this is like overkill. The issue there is if you get caught out, you have a little more you have some more survivability with Black Cleaver. Not so much with this. And some boots and ability to try to get something happen. So this build is not completely wrong, because a lot of the time there was a lot of little skirmishes. So if Kha'zix placed himself just right, and he jumped on Lux or somebody, then they could get the ball rolling. But yeah, but that limits his ability in what he can do. Like, I always think that when you go an offensive, non-tanky jungler, you got to get in there, you got to kill. Maybe you get your reset and you can get out, but it's pretty much you get in there, you do your job, and you don't have like benefits of tanky jungling, like being able to kite or being able to take a lot of damage for your carries. So you're a little more limited. But if you're still doing the job, if you're getting kills on the important people, and Kha'zix is getting his reset so he can jump out. So I think it's okay, but there are limitations to it. And in addition, Kha'zix falls off in the late game. Kha'zix is strong, and it's good that he's strong in the early game for his team. He wants to get his late game champions ahead. So that was good. So, but when you go Kha'zix, you're forced to be aggressive. You're forced to use your early game strength. And if you don't, then you're going to fall behind quickly. And you're not going to enter the late. And when you enter the late game, you're not going to do anything. And the issue with Nunu and a Kha'zix, it's like Kha'zix needs to try to get a kill in those lanes. And if Nunu is doing the job of warding, getting scuttles, and stealing your camps, that is pretty frustrating. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I, Arch, will talk to you guys later. I will see you guys later. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense because I don't see anyone. Alright guys, take it easy. Hi-yo!